New Year's Eve.
It's 10 minutes before midnight, and we're going over live to Times Square in New York City. There are 250,000 people out there, and they're all waiting to celebrate the new year. Adam Vasquez is going to talk to just a few of them. How are you doing, Adam?
Great, Naomi, just great. As you can see, there's a real party atmosphere down here. I'm going to move through the crowd and talk to some of the people who have come here. Excuse me, can I speak to you for a moment, please?
Sure.
What are your names and where are you from?
I'm Robin, and this is my boyfriend, Phil. We're from New Jersey.
New Jersey, just across the river. Are you having a good time?
Great time. No problems. We watched the ball drop on TV ever since we were kids. This is the first time we've actually come in person. It's great, really great.
Do you work in New Jersey?
Yeah, I'm a nurse.
Okay, Robin, I want to ask you one question, just one. If you could have one wish for next year, what would you wish for?
A serious wish or just kidding around?
You choose.
Okay. If I could have one wish, I'd wish for 3 more wishes.
That's against the rules, Robin.
Well, seriously, I'd wish for an end to famine and starvation everywhere.
Great. Thanks, and a Happy New Year to both of you.
Adam interviewed 4 more people. 1.
Hi there.
Hi! Aren't you that guy from TV?
That's right.
Yeah! You're Alan Vasquez.
That's Adam Vasquez. Are you having a good time tonight?
Yeah!
What's your name?
This is Tony King talking to you from Times Square. Hi, Mom! Hi, Dad!
Where are you from, Tony?
Boston. I'm a student here in New York.
A student, huh? Well, you have one wish, Tony. What are you going to wish for?
Good grades. That's my wish for next year. Good grades.
Thanks, Tony.
2.
Pardon me, ma'am. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure. Go right ahead.
You're on network TV. Tell me about yourself.
Well, my name's Susan Lee, and I live here in New York. I'm a teacher. I teach 2nd grade.
Great. If you had one wish for next year, what would it be?
Wow. Let me think. Something for the children. I just wish that all people could live together in peace and harmony. You know, no more racial prejudice and wars.
That's great. Really great, Susan.
3.
Excuse me.
Me?
Yes, you, sir. Can I ask you some questions?
Okay.
What's your name?
My name is Peter. Peter Kowalski.
Do you live here in New York?
Yes, I do. I've been here for 3 years. I like it very much.
Where do you come from?
I am from Poland. I am working here as a cab driver.
Are you enjoying New Year's Eve?
Yes, it is very good.
If you could make one wish, just one wish, what would you wish for?
So many things. I wish I could travel back home this year and see my grandparents.
I hope your wish comes true, Peter.
Thank you. But first, I have to save my money.
4.
Hi. Am I on TV?
Hi. Yes, you are.
What show is it?
It's the Adam Vasquez Show. Do you watch it?
Nah. I always watch David Letterman.
I see. Do you want to give anyone a message?
Wow. I just want to say hi to everyone at Bernard's Burger Bar in Washington, D.C., and a Happy New Year.
Okay. While you're here, can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
So you're from Washington?
That's right. I'm a waitress at Bernard's Burger Bar, and my name's Diane. Diane Kelly.
Okay, Diane. We're going to let you make one wish. What would you wish for?
This is really wild. I'd wish for an end to all the street crime. You know, the streets aren't safe anymore.
Thank you. Okay, it's nearly 10 seconds to midnight, and we're counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Happy New Year!
Operation Impossible.
Now, 006, I want you to look at these pictures carefully. At last, we have the chance to break the biggest crime syndicate in the world. Smash. Look at the man on the right. He's the one we've been after for years.
Who is he?
We think he's the one that controls Smash. He's certainly the one that ordered the murder of 003, the one that planned the hijacking of the airplane full of world leaders, and the one that organized the biggest drug smuggling operation in the world.
Do we know his name?
Otto Krugerrand.
Otto Krugerrand? And who's that standing behind him?
Slow Job. He's the bodyguard who travels everywhere with Krugerrand, and the only person he trusts. He's an expert assassin. He's the one who fed 004 to the alligators.
How charming. What about the woman?
Don't you recognize her?
Marla Powers. She's the one who arranged the pipeline explosion and then vanished into thin air.
She's also Krugerrand's wife and the only pilot he allows to fly his private plane.
Who's the little guy wearing thick glasses?
That's Professor Peratov, the mad scientist who defected from Moldania. He's an expert on laser technology and the first man who's been able to perfect a space laser weapon. Krugerrand is planning to build a private space rocket which could put a satellite into orbit. Do you understand the importance of this 006? If they got a laser weapon into space, they could blackmail the world. Take a look at this picture, 006.
It's an oil rig.
It looks like it, doesn't it? It belongs to Krugerrand's oil company. It's supposed to be drilling for oil in the Indian Ocean. Below it, there's a vast underwater complex.
The superstructure looks odd.
In fact, it conceals the launching pad they're going to use for the rocket.
That must be a radar scanner there.
Yes, it's the scanner they'll use to track the rocket. But they can also see anything that tries to get near the rig. It's going to be very difficult to get you in, 006.
What's the plan, then?
We're flying you to California tonight for 2 weeks of intensive mini-submarine training.
That sounds...
Operation accomplished.
When 006 reached the rig, he climbed up one of the towers. He needed to change out of his wetsuit. He went into an empty cabin, found some clothes just his size, and put them on. Suddenly, the guard whose cabin he was searching came in. Everything went dark. 006 woke up with his hands tied behind his back. His head was throbbing. He was apparently in some kind of control room. In the room were Otto Krugerrand, Slowjob, Mala, and the guard whose clothes he was wearing. A beautiful woman whose hands were also tied was lying beside him. She was Pick Wells, an American agent 006 had met in Washington. 006 glanced at his watch. The explosive device he'd put on the rig was timed to explode in 40 minutes. "Welcome, Commander Fleming. We've been expecting you," Otto said, smiling. "Unfortunately, we won't have time to show you around. Slowjob will take you to feed the sharks. They must be very hungry by now." Slowjob escorted them to Krugerrand's private apartment. One wall was made of thick glass. Behind it, 006 could see the dark shapes of the sharks swimming around. Slowjob pushed the two agents up a spiral staircase to a platform above the shark tank. He was careful to keep his gun trained on them all the time. "You wouldn't refuse us a last cigarette, would you, Slowjob?" 006 asked. "I don't smoke," Slowjob grinned. "And you shouldn't either. It's bad for your health." "Now, come on, Slowjob. There are some cigarettes and a lighter in my jacket pocket. Okay, but don't try anything. Slow Job reached into 006's pocket and took out the cigarettes and lighter. He took one cigarette out of the pack, pushed it into 006's mouth, and put the pack back into 006's pocket. Slow Job pressed the lighter with his thumb. The sudden force of the flame took him by surprise. At that moment, 006 kicked him, and his gun fell to the floor. Slow Job tumbled backward and disappeared forever into the tank of sharks. The lighter had dropped to the floor and was still burning. 006 was able to burn through the ropes that held his hands. He quickly untied Pick, who picked up Slow Job's gun. "We don't have much time," he said. "Can you fly a helicopter?" "With my eyes closed," she replied. "Good. Let's go." 006 and Pick tiptoed into the control room where Otto and Mala still were. Paratov had joined them. 006 fired the lighter at the control panel, which exploded and burst into flames. Otto tackled 006, and the lighter flew out of his hand. Mala and Paratov desperately tried to put out the flames. Pick pointed the gun at Mala, Otto, and Paratov, and ordered them to lie on the floor. Then she and 006 ran out of the room, locking it behind them. They ran up to the helicopter pad and quickly climbed into the helicopter. The helicopter soared into the sky. A few seconds later, there was a massive explosion as the rig blew up.
Student Mastermind.
Our next contestant is Vicky McLean, who is a student at Porchtown High School. Okay, Vicky, you have 2 minutes in which to answer as many questions as possible. If you do not know the answer, say pass. I will then go on to the next question. If you answer incorrectly, I will then give the correct answer. You will get 1 point for each correct answer. Are you ready?
Yes.
Can you name the President of the United States whose early career began as a radio sports announcer?
Reagan. Ronald Reagan.
Correct. What is an instrument that shows the direction of north?
A compass?
Exactly. What is the date when France celebrates their revolution of 1789?
The 14th of July.
Correct. What do we call a person who always expects the best to happen?
An optimist.
Correct. Can you tell me the language that was spoken in the Roman Empire?
Italian?
No, wrong. The correct answer is Latin. What kind of person do people visit when they want advice about their marriage?
Pass.
Who was the Egyptian queen whose beauty was famous throughout the world?
Cleopatra.
That's correct. What's the kind of school where very rich people send their children before college?
Private school?
Can you be more exact?
No, I can't think of it.
I'm afraid I can't give you that. We were looking for prep school or preparatory school. Now can you tell me? I've started, so I'll finish. Can you tell me the name of the French emperor whose final battle was at Waterloo?
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Correct. And at the end of that round, Vicky McLean has scored 6 points. You passed on 1. The kind of person people visit when they want advice about their marriage is a marriage counselor. Thank you. Can we have our next contestant, please?